Neil in the background listening in.
Neil can be in the background listening in. He's allowed. Hello, Neil.
Happy Wellbeing Wednesday from the Winnebago, Buddy Bago, from North Brisbane somewhere, not that far away from you, Jen.
No, you're probably an hour and
Strange.
a half away, something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're on the road, and I must say, for anybody who follows us and sees that we do get on the road every now and then, there is an absolute beautiful freedom of being on the road. And people say to me, "You're on holiday," and I'm actually not on holiday. I'm working as I go. But I love the fact that I'm in a different place every day. It's stimulating. We're going to a
Yeah.
unpowered place for 2 nights, so we have to change our routine and change the things that we use. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Holidays, or not even holidays, change of scenery. We went away for the weekend for my birthday and I came just for 3 days and I came home and literally I sat down and went, I blew out this huge, like my brain just went, oh, it's all create space, stuff comes in. But when we're doing the same routine day in, day out,
yeah,
we need to have breaks,
yes,
and they don't
yeah,
have to be holidays, just change the environment, changes our brain. It's great.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It is so good for you.
I
Um,
love it. I love
so
it.
Yeah, so Jen and I were just talking about what we should talk about on Wellbeing Wednesday, and I said, you know what, we've a topic that particularly women, I believe, from where I come from, women over 50 probably don't talk about is libido levels and how they can change it, and all of that, and I know that it's something that Jen understands and knows about. And I said to her, why don't I just ask you, so what is it that women should do if they choose to, increase their libido? And, yeah, so let's just talk about it. As I say, it's a
Yeah.
topic often people don't talk about.
They don't. And there's a few things with it. So if I think of it as a naturopath, and then I'll think about it as a 65-year-old woman. So as a naturopath, one of the first things that disappears when we're stressed out is our libido. Literally, our body goes, you haven't got the energy to make a baby. I'm just going to switch that off. Really simple. So how does it switch it off? Our reproductive system is told what to do by our adrenal glands. And that's really simplified, but it's true. So our adrenal glands are where we produce our uh, stress hormones, things like adrenaline and cortisol. However, it's also where we produce androgens. So androgens are like, what's testosterone and things like that, that it's what tells our reproductive system what to do. And when our ovaries eventually shrivel up, which marks with the vertical lines on our top lip, that shows I am very barren. So as all that happens, the androgens, the adrenal glands, still produces hormones, but at a much lower level. Now, if a woman through at any time in her life is having crappy libido, as a naturopath, the first question we ask is, what's stress been like for the last 1 to 3 months?
Hmm.
So a blood cycle. Because generally stress has been up and the body's just gone, I'm just going to shut that down because you haven't got the energy for life, let alone managing that as well. And so, what do we do for that? Adaptogens. That's the answer. And so, some people will say when they take ionics, their libido naturally rises. Well, it can, depending on the depth of tiredness in your adrenal glands. It may. It may not. What I know is that definitely over time it will help restore adrenals, bring them back into balance, and allow that natural not shutting down to happen. So that's one thing, definitely. So Ionix is great, or any of our adaptogen products, the adaptogen elixir, the e-shots, any of those are great. I'm off to Taiwan tomorrow. I've got a week's work over there, and I've already packed e-shots and Ionix. I carry it
Yeah,
around the world with me, just not
yeah,
negotiable. It works. It's just good for my overall wellness. And I'll teach 3 10-hour days with translators back to back. Huge teaching days while I'm over there. So trust me, I will use all those adaptogens. So I can still come
yeah.
home horny. um, just well. Then the other thing is what I've discovered is, a couple of years ago when my pelvic floor fell out, we have talked about this in the past,
Yeah.
when I got a prolapse, the what I've learned since, and so I've worked really closely with two Fanny physios, is that structurally the the pelvic floor muscles, imagine they're kind of like a, not quite a figure, but you've got kind of three. One sits around your pee hole, one around your bum hole, and one sits around your fanny, and they all work together. And you learn when you work with a fanny physio, a women's health physio, you can learn to isolate and train them all independently. However, what I've learned since that, and you all really needed to know that my orgasms are even more next level now since I've been strengthening my pelvic floor muscles.
Wow.
I had no idea. And so I didn't know that structural thing. And so because they are literally those muscles there are tighter and so everything is just more intense. So that's a side benefit. If libido has dropped, it's worth going and seeing a women's health physio as well. Definitely I would be doing adaptogen herbs. However, maybe it's not going to help with raising libido. However, it's going to help your body work properly when it's, let alone prevent prolapses and stuff like that. I have so much, I came from the fanny physio this morning. I still go for checkups and maintenance and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the bottom line. I'm all about the BAM, the bottom line. So adaptogens, because people do the whole, yeah, take this herb and take that herb. Well, they can be great, but again, if you don't treat what's happening behind, which is tight adrenal glands, the other shit doesn't work.
Yeah. So there's the physical side of it, and then
Yeah.
there's the stress side of it. So there's sort of almost two different sides of it. One side is to fix what's going on as to
Yeah.
why you're feeling like that,
Yeah.
and then there's the physical side of it inside to actually maybe improve the muscles and everything
Yeah,
around.
and improve, increase blood flow, all those kind of things. And I never had any problems with orgasms. However, it's next we joke about it. My Fanny Physio, who's starting a new podcast called Fanny Physio Down Under, and actually we might put the link below to when I interviewed her on my
Yeah.
podcast. I'll put that link below here. But she's got a new podcast launching in a few weeks' time, just talking all fanny stuff. She's
Oh, that's so
Canadian
cool.
Canadian physio who's put her specialty into fannies.
Yeah.
And
I've met
met
her.
her.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's a cool
Cool.
woman.
And is there another health benefit? So for women who just go, look, it's all just too hard. I just can't be bothered. Are there health benefits of, having regular orgasms or having regular sex, or like, is there other benefits to your body?
Emotionally, it's great. It's interesting if we think of Chinese medicine,
Yep.
when guys have an orgasm, they deplete chi. They deplete energy. When women have it, it builds chi, it builds energy.
Ah,
So look, is it incredibly relaxing on your central nervous system after an orgasm and that? 100%.
yeah.
However, women's core being gets energized from sex, where a
Mhm.
guy gets depleted.
That
Just
is
that
so
vital
true.
life force. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're meant to, you know, grow a human out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy, hey,
Yeah. Yes,
crazy.
absolutely.
So our body just goes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So there's so many benefits. And look, anti-aging and all those kind of things. It is a function in life that helps just have our body. It's part of our body working properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there can be influence. Stress, without a doubt, shuts it down in a heartbeat. It's one of the very first things that leaves when you're stressed
Yeah.
out. Just is way before crappy sleep, all those things, it just goes away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that key point that you just said is so true, about women getting energized by it, and
Mm.
the opposite with men.
Yeah.
Yeah, men probably, well, most men fall asleep. That's it. They're done.
Yeah, and everyone, your central nervous system, beautifully. You like your parasympathetic nervous system just goes,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
fall in a heap. It's great. However, our core vibe for life for a woman, yeah, it
yeah,
builds. It
yeah,
builds.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
let's
Okay,
start
very
with
interesting
adaptogens.
conversation. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
we'll
you,
talk about
Jen.
everything. That's all right. Happy
Okay,
to help.
we will see you next Wednesday. See ya.
Yeah. Have a fabulous week. See you, everyone.
Okay, enjoy. Bye.